Hello, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to do this video. I'm so excited. Let me know if you guys are here, and if you guys are catching me on the replay, you could say hello, and I will always come back to reply to you. So, as the title suggests, there is some kind of life update that I wanted to share with you in this video round. And I have changed the orientation of my video because turns out live streams right now are done in video format. So we are doing like really up close and personal, like FaceTime chat. So let me know if you guys are here so that I can, say hi and everything. So I'm so happy to be sharing this piece of news with you because I was kind of thinking to myself, like, I haven't gone live in a while. I haven't posted video in a while, and I think that there's a whole lot of narrative and story and things that have been happening in the background that I want to share with you, and I've been learning a lot of things, and I've been learning some very important things in my life and in my development in my career as a coach, and that it's really added to my own tool suite. So I have the intention of just coming on and sharing those pieces with you because I would not have had these realizations without without having taken the step that I did today. And so originally I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe I should just post something valuable. Maybe I should just post what's been on my mind. And, from my client conversations and the insights that I normally share with you guys. But today I feel like there's another piece that is a lot more valuable that I think you guys will get a lot more out of it. So, first things first, because everything that I talk about, everything that I do, it revolves around self-expression. And you guys might be wondering, like, Eunice, this is interesting because why on earth would you all of a sudden jump ship to do something else if it weren't about coaching? And it was a very interesting sort of uh, pivot and detour and kind of like a branch out from what I am doing. It's a branch out from what I feel very passionate about, and I suddenly decided that I really wanted to pursue artificial intelligence. And when I when I talk about self-expression and, embodying your true self, um, I I'm like the example that I don't just want to talk about it. And I've been sitting on the idea for a while about just really going for something that I really love, aside from coaching, aside from understanding how the human mind thinks and understanding consciousness and experiencing consciousness. I realized that um, with embodying self-expression, it also comes along with the things that you love doing. It comes along with pursuing the things that excite you, from following the nudges that are pulling you forward and say, hey, go find out if you like it. Go find out if you're going to be good at it. And so that is the part of my self-expression, which actually doesn't come from just speaking about it. It actually comes from the embodiment of and the expression of allowing myself to pursue, to take the action. So, having said that, I first want to just say that um, everything that I'm doing right now in artificial intelligence and coaching, I want to say that there's more similarities in these two fields than you could imagine. And I couldn't believe, like, when I first dove into the field, I'm like, what? It feels like this is like this job description is written for me. Everything that I'm doing right now has to do with metacognition. So for those of you who are not like familiar with metacognition, it literally means you are you are super aware of every thought that goes through your head. And so all the work that I've been doing about, with meditation, with learning about my thoughts, with listening to myself, with tuning into, the subtleties of what I'm feeling and thinking, that then came in really handy because this job that I'm doing, literally, I'm training computers to be able to think and make decisions on their own, to come up with reasoning so that they can take actions and have reasoning to justify those actions that they're taking. So it totally makes sense. It's totally relevant. And I want to share some I want to take this opportunity to share these insights with you, um, upon what I have derived from this experience, because there's no other way I could have experienced these things. And oh my gosh, you guys, it is so interesting and fascinating in the way that it's, coming through right now. So just stay with me. Let me know who's here. I see one person watching live, but like you're not saying hi. No pressure though. So I'm super happy to have you guys here. The first thing that I wanted to dive into is just finding out how much we take our thoughts for granted. How much we take every piece of nudge, of impulse, of pull, like every little piece um, of bias, of stereotyping things, of categorizing things, of maybe like shutting out information or leaning towards something that you may be interested in. How much we actually take that for granted. Now, there's habitual thoughts that we have every day. There's biases that we live by that we probably don't even know. There are ways that we make decisions every single day that we don't know we actually go through those thoughts. But oftentimes we jump to conclusions and we make decisions in a certain way that um, that result in the decisions that we make, that result in just being here where we are. Oh my gosh, hi Chad. I see your messages now. I see your comment now. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. So, having said that, knowing that I am doing AI data training right now, what I have to do is basically, because I'm training the computer to think for itself, I have to feed it the thought and the logic that is unbiased, without subjectivity, and without preferences. So, what this means is that I have to remove the ego out the door. I have to remove all the things that I like, that I feel, the human preferences. I have to leave it at the outside, and I have to enter the training room to teach the computer what to do and how to think very objectively. It's like if I have to make a decision, then it's literally like, okay, just making the decision based on everything that I see on the screen, with all the elements that I see on the screen, and I have to leave my personal preferences aside. Now, this is actually a lot harder than you think, because I didn't I wasn't aware of how much biases and preferences I carried into the training room. And so a lot of times there would be like a red flag, and a highlight and a strike of um, how I how I involved my own preferences to maybe scan the page, or to focus on like a certain part of information and really emphasize on that. And that just goes to show how sometimes we narrow down our focus towards some things, and maybe we avoid some other type of information based on our personal interests, and we don't even know that. So it yeah, it's very difficult. And now I'm becoming hyper aware of, when I make a comment, when I claim something, it's like, do you know what you claim is factual or if it's personal opinion? Am I aware that when I make a statement, it's um, it's based on what I actually saw, what I actually identified, and am I able to come up with backup and reasoning upon it, or if it's just a belief? And this has actually helped me to become super aware around, okay, there are certain beliefs that we have, and actually going into those beliefs and saying, you know what, that's actually just a feeling, and there's no grounding towards that reasoning. And so that just goes to show how much we take our own thoughts, our own feelings for granted every single day. And when we dissect and we take the pieces of thought apart, we're going to realize how many mini and micro decisions we make every single day that we didn't even realize. So the second thing that, and I think this is probably one of the most fascinating things that like just blew my mind in the whole training period, is that, did you guys know that the computer has no concept of time? And that time is really just a human concept. So upon doing a lot of trainings and doing a lot of, different types of tasks, humans are looking at the clock. It's like, if I'm looking at the clock, if I sit down at, let's say, 9 in the morning, and I want to complete this task by 10, let's say, so I have an hour to do it. And as a human, you're gonna look at the clock and say, "Oh, I've got like 10 minutes left. I better hurry up." Right? We've got this concept of time. We've got this like feeling of the time ticking. We've got this feeling of like, "Oh, the door's closing in on me. I better hurry up. I better do it soon." Now, in the computer, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as, let me save time. Let me hurry up. There's no such thing. The computer does what it does with the time that it takes to do it. So if the computer takes, let's say, 10 clicks or 10 actions to arrive at that desired result, or to do that objective, take that action, then it's going to take the time that it takes to do those 10 actions. The time it took then would be the time that actually elapsed upon having taken the action. So it's not going to look at the task and say, "Oh, I think this is going to take half an hour," or, "Oh, I think this is going to be really quick," or, "Oh, I better speed up because I don't have much time left." The computer doesn't know it. What this tells me then is that oftentimes, us humans, we look at the time and we let the time take our presence away. When we look at the time, we're no longer engaged in the task. We're no longer fully engaged in the present moment to do what it is that we're really focused on doing. And instead, our attention has gone to the time, which actually takes our presence away. It takes our decision making away. It takes our engagement away. It takes our involvement away. And that actually, what we're doing in our heads, it actually doesn't exist. It doesn't do anything. So what I've realized is, it doesn't matter how long it takes to do something. When you've done it, you've done it. When you've done it, that's the time it would take. It doesn't matter if other people took 15 minutes to do that. It doesn't matter if other people took 5 years to build their career. It doesn't matter if, I don't know, it took them 2 hours to get past the traffic. What actually matters is the time that it took for you when you go through it. Oh, the time that it took for you when you have gone through it. Sorry. Because then that is your time. And you're not measuring your life based on other people's time, because the time that it takes to even calculate that, it's already taking time out of your life. And so the computer is the most objective thing when it comes to handling time, because time is not a concept. It's something that just gets measured after the action is being taken. So if the next time, if you notice yourself asking, oh, how much time is this going to take, how long is it going to take, how quick can I do this thing, how fast can I build my career, how soon can I retire, how how soon will my kids learn this, um, how soon will I be able to pay this off, how how quickly can I save this amount of money, how fast can my success be achieved. It's like you're asking a question that's not even real. You're looking for an answer that feels substantial to you, but it's actually hollow. It's an illusion. It actually doesn't even make sense to ask the question in the first place, because how much time it would take is how much time it actually took. It's how much time it would take for you and not for anybody else. Let me check the comments. Figuring out that it could be huge for both your AI and human clients. Can we identify can we identify indisputable truth? I'm not sure if I understand the question. um, can we identify indisputable truth? I think there are a couple of truths that I've identified. The timepiece was huge for me. I think that, you know, in the past I've talked about time. I've talked about, time is just a concept that we experience in our heads. And, sometimes we feel like time is passing really slowly, and sometimes we feel like time's just accelerating and we can't stop. And the only time that's real is the time that we actively engage ourselves in, instead of thinking about time, because time can't really be thought about. If we think about time, then we're instantly out of the present moment, which is what the computers have taught me. It's like when I tell a computer that I want to speed up, or when I teach the computer to say I want to speed up, it's like, we don't know this. I'm not familiar with this concept. What does it mean? And it's like, oh yeah, oh, that's the human part of me. That's the humanness within me that is afraid of running out of time. But in fact, it's not even real. It's interesting how your work with AI has taught you more about ourselves as humans. Yes, that is actually true. That has really shown light on my own mortality. Oh, my Google alarm is ringing. Please hold on a second. Hey, Google, please stop the alarm. Thank you. So, yeah, it has really shown light on my mortality. It has shown light on my own biases and preferences. When you come face to face with something that just functions on pure cold facts, you can't teach it to perceive these um, vague concepts such as time that we have derived as humans. We can't teach it things such as lack. It doesn't exist. It is what it is, and that is all there is. And for us humans, because we have been so conditioned by lack, by not having enough, by judgment, by just not feeling enough, we stop ourselves from doing the things that we want to do instead of just seeing the situation as it is. It's like, well, you've got a job offer, or well, there's an opportunity for you to step up and get that pay raise. Why don't you go for it? It's right there. And then, like, the emotion part of it's going to shut down and be like, hey, no, I can't have this. I'm not ready for this. blah, blah, blah. But it's like all the criterias that you actually need, it's already there. And so it's really revealed to me so much about our humanness. And it also goes to show how much further we can go to put um, those the lacking part of ourselves away. So the third thing, I'm so excited to get into this too, is that computers learn on positive reinforcement, and computers learn with um, active, what's the word? Active suggestions, right? So you can tell the computer, you could teach a computer to do something, but when you tell it not to do something, it's like, okay, well, maybe I won't do that. But there are a ton of other ways. There are like millions of other ways to not do something, right? So the way that it relates to us as humans is that oftentimes we'll tell ourselves that uh, I shouldn't do this, or I shouldn't be like this, or I shouldn't think like this. Um, I shouldn't approach this situation in this way. I shouldn't live like this. But oftentimes, when we tell ourselves we shouldn't, or like this is a no, we'll give ourselves like, okay, what I shouldn't do. But then in the end of the day, we're still not telling ourselves what we should do, what we want to do, what we want to pursue. So we're still not giving like the actual direction. What we do is that when we tell ourselves, oh, don't go there, okay, we just close that door. But then there are still many other doors that we probably don't prefer to go into. So unless we get really clear on the path that you want to take, the path that we want to take, and unless I tell the computer, this is what you should do, this is where you should go, this is the button that you should click on, instead of telling the computer, don't click this and don't look there and don't go into that link and don't go there and don't refresh the page, for example, it won't know what to actually look for. And that is exactly the fascinating and the very interesting part of the human mind, is that oftentimes we look for things, we look at things that we don't want to be looking at. It's like, okay, I don't want this person to be treating me this way. I don't want this person to do this to me. I don't want a person who's like this. I don't want a relationship that's like that. It's like, okay, the universe is very clear on what you don't want. But then are you clear on what you do want? Because that is going to be the path, and that is going to be the instruction that you're giving yourself to actually take that path, instead of like trying to shut every door without actually taking the path that's going to lead you to where you want to go. And that is really powerful when you start identifying that, oh, I know exactly what I want. I mean, I can know what I don't want, but I'm more clear and I'm spending more of my attention on what I do want, so that when the door of what I do want opens up, I know exactly the direction which I'm going, instead of spending so much of my energy trying to close every door, because there could be a million doors of paths that you don't want to take. So for example, I can I can tell the universe, well, I don't want to be an accountant, and I don't want to be a veterinarian, and I don't want to be an engineer, and I don't want to be a plumber, and I don't want to be um, I don't know, like a tax consultant, and I don't want to be all those things. It's like, okay, well, get clear on what you want. So that is the fastest and most direct way towards the life that you want to live. And that is exactly how we train computers, is to tell them what to do, not what not to do. And that is how it learns the fastest. It's interesting how you work with AI. Okay, okay. I've read that comment already. So that is basically a very small snapshot of what I have been doing. Good point in hypnosis too. Yeah, that's very interesting. Actually, I still haven't tried hypnosis myself. That would be very interesting to get myself hypnotized one day. The human mind gets confused by don't. Exactly. It works better on positive suggestions. Yeah. And it also feels good to know, it feels good to have like very clear instructions and directions as well. You know, the more that I'm spending time in this type of work and this type of work environment, the more I'm like, be clear. Just be clear. Once you have clarity, you can do anything you want. So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been wanting to share with you guys today. Um, Soon I will have more of other types of content to, come on and share with you guys, probably maybe derived from this AI job, or maybe it'll still be derived from my recent insights and client calls and all the things that I want to talk about. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this like live conversation. I love having you guys like interact with me live, and I love sharing these pieces with you. It feels like this is just a lot closer to my heart right now than anything else that I've been thinking about. And I do I do find that with integrating our lives with artificial intelligence, it actually shines more light on our own consciousness. Um, this experience has forced me to wake up to things that I was unconscious about, and hopefully this helps to shine light on your consciousness as well, just to show you, wow, how much more I can do with my own awareness, how much more I can tap into and experience within my own consciousness. And that is going to be such a beautiful feeling. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. I have missed you guys, and I will be seeing you guys a lot more. A lot more. Later. When I get my schedule organized, I will be seeing you guys a lot more. Thank you so much for being here. Love you all, and I'll be talking to you guys in the next video.